All right. And I will see if I'm live here in a second. Everything should be working the way it needs to. Beautiful, beautiful. Let me go ahead and tell everybody hello. Hello, everyone, as you come in, if I can get my words out. All right. Hope everybody's having a beautiful day. Let's make sure the volume's up. Okay. Turn my headphones up. All right, so we are live. I will be going back and forth to check in the chat. See that? I see you. I ain't me them popped up. All right. We need to get these subscribers up. You will shortly and shortly because we got great things coming. Let me go ahead and share my screen so you all don't have to see it in my face, but you'll see what you need to see. All right. I'm 2 minutes early, so I'm gonna give people time to come in. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your punctuality. Thank you all for being here. Hope everybody's having a blessed Wednesday. What's popping? Everything. Business. That's what's popping. That's what's booming. All right. Let's see what's going on with Zoom as I know people are coming in. So that's okay. We want to make sure everything is everything and do what we got to do for sure. Let me make this a little bit smaller so I can see and go back and forth. I know it. I'm excited too. Okay, we got people starting to join the link now. So give me a second. We're gonna give them a little bit more time to get here just because I am a little bit early. But I will go ahead and just tell you all what we're talking about today. We're talking about investing in farming, investing in glamping, camping, RVing, cabins, the whole retreat lifestyle, something great. We do have a lot of good information coming up. We're going to be start to talk about other sectors that you can invest in, right? Water, that's right. Africa, right? Specifically Ghana, the Gambia, and Egypt. Not that you have to move there or do anything crazy, but if you want to invest in farming over there and land over there and Airbnbs, whatever it could be, you're going to have your chance shortly. But right now, we're focused on America. But for the next two, probably 2 months, you all shouldn't be missing a beat or a session. If you're weak, you beat. So if somebody else beats you to this opportunity, you can't say you didn't have the opportunity. I've been talking about this since January when we first started the Eternal Financial Journey group. So we're here now. We're getting ready to transition into Kingdom Rooted Builders, but I hope you all are ready. All right. As more people get ready to come in, we are going to go ahead and get started. It is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know some people jump in around the 5 or 10 minute mark. They can always go back and watch here on YouTube where we're live at. So thank you for your time. To God be the glory. God bless everybody. I hope this blesses your ears and your heart and your hands. And I really mean that. Another thing, right? Disclaimer. Just letting you know, I tell people about these ideas if they want to come in and invest. I'm not telling you you have to. I'm not your legal advisor. The best thing I can tell you is have God as your advisor and go from there. But there's nothing wrong with legal counsel. Um, oh, she said it still stay waiting for host. Okay, hold on. Let me send some help to one more person. I don't know why we're waiting for host. I'll give this to her. But yeah, greater things are coming. It's gonna be a beautiful evolution. So get there. Let me send somebody one thing right quick, and we're gonna go from there. Let me see. Chat. How do I copy this to her so we can go ahead on because I'm getting ready to, here we go. I'm getting ready to go ahead and say our prayer. So thank you for that. As I just sent this, and we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Let's go. All right. Hopefully everybody else can get here. God bless. I don't know why we're waiting on host if the host is here. I don't see anything saying waiting for host. All right. Well, while that's going, let's go ahead and pray. All right. So everybody, if you will, if you don't pray, I don't know, go meditate, go do something. We're gonna do this for the next 2 to 3 minutes. Let's go.
Our Father, Father God, we come before you today, grateful for the land that you've given us and the wisdom to steward it and the opportunity to build something that serves others in other capacities, as far as food, as far as love, retreats, space, and as well as unity. We pray for clarity, unity, and vision today as we explore ways to grow, gather, and give through agriculture and community. Bless everyone here with purpose, insight, and courage to move forward to do the work of God in all areas of their life. It is so it is written in Jesus' name.
Amen. Let me see. All right. So I think everybody good, right? Amen to that. So let's keep pushing. Y'all ready? Now, what are we talking about today? I'm glad you asked. All right. So remember, we were talking about Shanisha's Farm. This is definitely not the name of it, but as I said, I will not be giving out intellectual property without um those securing it. We actually do have a business here. Okay, my mom online too. Hello. I see you now. Um, so it's not called Shanisha's Farm. All right. But just because we're live on YouTube and other areas, intellectual property will not be given out. So those of you who all that will invest or that want to do other things and have your business be a part of it, there will be private Zooms in other areas, right? This is why I asked that everybody actually subscribe to YouTube because there will be private channels, the same thing, whether it be WhatsApp, eh, whatever it is, right? So that you all will know. We'll get that together later. Right now, we're just doing the overview so you all can understand and you can see it. All right. So thank everybody for coming. Thank you for your time. Let's go. Welcome to the farm, right? We're just gonna say that. Though I told you it's Shanisha's farm, it's not. It's just welcome to the farm, right? Where land meets legacy. So whether you're here to invest, lease, build, or just explore the idea of something new, right? You're in the right place. So that's a lot right there. Invest, lease, or build, or just explore, right? Whether personal or business, those are the things that we're talking about. So this project or projects, all right, as in plural, are not just about food. It's about ownership, purpose, and legacy. It's whatever you want to make it, right? Let's be clear on that. And today I just want to show you exactly how this is going to work, right? A nice little synopsis. And with real, I'm not going to give you the real numbers. We're doing real examples, okay? But this is a real opportunity and a real system, right? That keeps land in the hands of the community. So whether it's for you, your family, your children, whomever, okay, this can help you. So today we're going to talk about the South Carolina property, the land in South Carolina, right? What we're going to do with the land there. So for those of you who are in South Carolina and close to South Carolina, don't mind going to South Carolina, whatever it is, you can have opportunity. You can do this and you don't have to stay in South Carolina. I do want to say to stay tuned because over the next 2 months, and yes, that's a long time, but I only see you all twice a week for about an hour. Um, we're going to be talking about Georgia and Alabama and the things that we have going on in those places. So you can have the opportunity to invest in which one you see fit. We're going to be going over models, prices, all kind of stuff, right? Locations won't be given. I'm telling you the state, but I'm not going to give you the location unless you're an active investor, right? So we have apps coming, all types of stuff. So you just need to stay tuned for that. I never speak early, right? I'm speaking to you and hopefully speaking to your mind and to your heart. But there's nothing that we have to have like, oh, the nonprofit or our other business. Oh, we just absolutely need this. No, the land is already acquired. So if you want to come join, that's great. But as far as needing, like, no, this is not a handout. So I just wanted to clarify that from the last session. All right, which is I gave you all an overview. So today we're going to keep going. So welcome to the farm in South Carolina, all right? So we're expanding. I'll tell you, near Greenville, near Spartanburg, right? Why? It's two of the fastest growing and most accessible areas, right? For nature-based businesses and agriculture. Y'all know South Carolina got some good food. Like it is what it is, right? So let's go. The vision statement, same statement from last time, right? To create a kingdom-centered model of self-sufficiency. If you don't know, food is very high right now. All right. We want to be able to do this, but we will do this through agriculture, education, and community ownership. You know how people go to the neighborhood Walmart? Well, good. You have your own neighborhood that you can come and get your vegetables out of, okay? Fruits, whatever you need over there. And they will actually have other items too. So some people like to stop shop at Asian stores and African stores. They're gonna have certain spices and certain things like that there too for another time. But right now, that's what the vision is, right? So the heart of me, if you know me, um, is kingdom centered. So everything is about God with me. If it's not about God, then it don't make sense. All right. So all this is to help with self-sufficiency through land, learning, and ownership. Great wisdom, right? So we're not just planting crops, we're planting opportunities. So you can sow a seed if you would like to and see what it blossoms and grows into. That's all I'm saying. All right. So who is this for? Because I think it confused a lot of people last time. Each property is going to be for something different, right? South Carolina, this one is more for the glamping, so the domes. There will be two cabins built there. All right. And there will be a store there. Nobody's going to live on that property, but you're able to grow crops and rent out sections if you would like. We're going to go more into that today. The one in Georgia, that's the one that you're able, if you want to do tiny homes or, where we're going to build the mega barn dominium and things like that. And you're going to see this every step of the way, right? So then we're going to explain more about how you can invest if you want to be an investor or if you want to be an active participant or if you want to grow something or you want to bring your business down there, whatever it could be. More options, more variable. For Georgia and Alabama, the same. But for South Carolina, what we're talking about today, specifically, two cabins, glamping, and then renting out, leasing out sections for um, you to be able to do farming or some type of agriculture, right? I'll give you examples here shortly. So who is this for? It's for any and everybody, right? If you want and needing to change, this should be for you. If you're an entrepreneur and you don't have a storefront, right? Maybe now you do. If you've ever been to a farmer's market and you say, hey, we don't have one close by, maybe now you do. You see what I'm saying? Um, if you're dreaming of land, but you don't own any land and you just want to be able to plant some crops and things like that, this is for you. If you're a teacher wanting to host classes in nature, this is for you. Okay? So whatever the purpose could be, could it work for you? Yes, it could. I'm not here to say your dream. What is your dream? What's your vision? What's your intention? That's for you to answer. All right. So why South Carolina? Well, I just said that. Everything in the South is, listen, for my people on here that's from the South, you understand what's going on. You know that. It's more space, rural areas, better, right? Less congested, more space to grow. Is what it is, right? Welcome to the South. But the other reasons are with rich soil, and year-round growing seasons. The weather is good in South Carolina too, right? Just like we love Florida, they got good weather until hurricanes come, right? California, they got good weather. We love some California till earthquakes and mudslides happen. It don't matter where you're at, something can always go on. However, the soil and the weather, you can still grow year round, right? And I do want to take note that you all know that we will um, in the next two sessions, start talking about vertical farming, the different types of farming you can do, inside, outside, soilless, in the soil, whatever's happening, you can do it. All right, we'll get more into the business aspect of that later. Just know what's coming. That's why you need to be here every week. Now, um, it's a popular destination, right? So just like in Tennessee, everybody goes to Knoxville, um, the whole Dolly Parton and this, that, and other. Wonderful. Yeah, and it's brick out there. It's cold, okay? Especially in the wintertime. So if you don't want to go somewhere that's as congested and you want to rent your own cabins and come somewhere and have your own little retreat and you're not worried about bears coming to chase you, this can help you. You know what I'm saying? Smoking the bear, nothing to bother you. That's all I'm saying. Okay. So we're just creating other viable options, is what I'm telling you, right? So popular destination, If you want to take a little weekend retreat, you want a little break, and kids enjoy you crazy, whatever's going on, you could do it, right? So it's affordable, it's rural land, close to major cities, right? And we are going to expand to some other areas, but right now we're talking about what we've already acquired. Okay. Um, a great place to grow, gather, and give. The three G's: grow, gather, and give. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. So it's the perfect place to grow food and build restful spaces that bring in people across the Southeast. So that's why South Carolina, because somebody asked me that, and I want you to be able to know that. All right. So what can you lease? This is just examples, and it probably will be very close to these prices, but I'm just giving you examples to open up people's minds so they can understand what I'm trying to deliver to you, right? What I'm saying, right? In visual and what I'm speaking to you actively. Um, so if you do a fourth of an acre, right? Maybe the rent is $150. What would you do with that? Well, you can do a small garden. Maybe you're gonna have, you know what I'm saying, four chickens on a roost out there. And you could do eggs, you could do something with the chickens, whatever it is. Maybe you're doing herbs. Could be any of that, right? Maybe you do half an acre and that's 250 for monthly rent, right? Somebody might be courageous enough to go out there and do some beekeeping. It's very lucrative, but I'm not going to go play with bees, okay? So totally up to you. Maybe you out there with the goats. Goat milk is hey, people need it. They like it. So a lot of people make soap out of all kind of stuff. It's a lot of stuff you can do with the goats. Um, but that's just an example. That's not telling you you have to do that. You might be want to be out there growing tomatoes and watermelons or something. It wouldn't matter. Whatever you can do is whatever you would be able to do out there, okay? And maybe you have 1 acre for $400, right? Or $500, whatever it is. So on the acres, that's where we would put like the glamping pods. All right. But here are just examples of what you could do. Not that you have to do it. I'm just trying to give you examples, right? So in this case, you don't need to buy the land. You just lease and build your dream. Small scale. This is a good way to decide whether you like agriculture or not. This is a good way to see if you like dealing with goats or not. Okay. Billy the goat might not work for you. You might got to get rid of. And right, you might go from the goats and you want to go on over here and deal with the chickens. Okay. And then maybe you don't like the chickens. Okay. You might start growing lettuce or something. Whatever it could be. Wouldn't matter. Just an example, all right? So for South Carolina, um, you know, a lot of people always say, well, what's included? Well, if you have your own section, depending on which one you do, fourth an acre and half an acre or acre, you have access to water, maintenance support. Because remember, um, if you want your own fence around it, so nobody comes in and bothers your own stuff, like all these things are available. I'm just not going to give you all this intellectual property until you get to the phase that you are willing to invest. That's when you would have all this information available to you. This is just an overview and a synopsis of what you could do, so you can start thinking in your mind what you would like to do. All right. So if you want to do fencing or solar power and stuff like that, that's fine. You would have to do a lease agreement. You would always have receipts of what you have going on, and you would be able to see the digital dashboard inside the app, and there will be cameras there as well, so you could see what's going on um, with you know what I'm saying, whether it's your sheep or your goats or whoever, or your agricultural products. So whatever you got going on, there are other opportunities. So let's talk about that. Now, remember, this is the one in South Carolina. We're just doing the glamping, the RVing, and then just you're able to do produce. We're going to do food trucks and all that type of stuff too. We're going to talk about it in a minute. But smaller scale, right? 11 acres. Cool. But you still could do it if you want to, right? And if you don't, somebody near the area, they need to be in the group, or they need to be watching this YouTube channel. Everybody today, find 5 people you can send it to. That's your assignment. All right. So that's what's included in your lease. Now let's go on to the glamping and the cabin investment opportunity so I can explain that to you, right? This is passive income, right? So I'm gonna tell you every time we go to different sections of different projects, I'll tell you what type of income you're able to get from it. So this one we're talking about passive income for South Carolina property, all right? So we're offering 10 investment spots, right, to fund cabins and glamping tents. So when I say glamping tents, I don't necessarily mean the teepees. I mean the actual domes, the glamping domes. All right. Um, somebody's gonna have a nice time at this retreat. That's all I know, right? So we're opening up 10 spots for that. So they're gonna be two luxury cabins, possibility there could be three, but right now two. Um, and then we're gonna have four glamping domes, right? She may do two tents. I don't know. We'll figure that out later. But right now, four glamping domes. Okay. What else does that come with? They're also gonna have fire pits, a whole lot, little nice community garden. Y'all know the hammocks that people be swinging in. Listen, hey, don't go Timmy tumbling because it can happen. But whatever. You want to be hanging between trees, you'll be able to do it. That's all I'm telling you. All right, now enter at your own risk. Um, there will be shared outdoor showers, but there will be walls in between them. Okay, I mean I know it's outside and it's glamping, but hey, people need some privacy. Okay. Um, I'll start showing pictures and more of that later on as it more of it's being developed. But anyway, I just wanted you all to know that. So we're offering 10 investment spots to fund the cabins and the glamping domes, right? You can fund some of the build. So basically what this is guess what? We manage the property and the bookings and the maintenance, and you sharing the profits, right? So we're going to get into that, and I'm going to do a nice breakdown of return on interest of what you would get back. Right. So I'm just telling you some of the things that will be out there. So two nice sized cabins, four glamping domes. It's gonna be a place for EV charging and RVs, right? In the RVs, I don't want anybody staying more than 3 days because some people like to go camping and literally camp and not leave. We won't have it, okay? Because it needs to be cleaned up, not coming out there smelling up stuff. It's a different feel, right? So we just got to make sure of that that can change later on. The fire pits is gonna be a nice vibe, little pond, everything. It's gonna be everything you need it to be. You know what I'm saying? Because really a whole family could come rent this out and have a good time, right? You ain't got to worry about nobody. So totally up to you. Um, and it's going to be a store on the site as well, not like Publix or Food City, like not like that type of grocery store, but a store. So if they want to buy fresh produce and vegetables or fruits or something, that's going to be there. We will have food trucks that will be able to alternate in and out, especially for big events. We will also host like not the flea market, a food market and stuff like that for produce and different things. So if people want to come down there, if you're selling shirts, pop-up shops, all that stuff, you're able to come, right? You could be selling bracelets if you feel like it. If you're selling Linda's best sweet potato pies, come on down there. If you got Lulu's lemonade, whatever the case is, you know what I'm saying? Pirtle's chicken. Oh no, there was a chicken in Memphis that was nasty. Some type of chicken, come on down there and come get it. Like this is your time to shine. See what I'm saying? Because South Carolina, everybody knows South Carolina got some good food. If you don't know it, you're about to know it. Come on in there and monthly when they have that, this is your time to shine. Set up shop. That's all we're saying. Right. So the store will be comprised of these different people selling different items and produce, right? Fruits and vegetables and whatever else they're gonna sell in the food trucks. And there will also be on-site vending machines for um with the fresh food being delivered each day into it. So fresh salads, fresh fruits and things like that. If you want to come up there and put you a juice machine up there that's squeezing orange juice or something, you could do it, right? And have your vending machine there because people who are there, maybe they didn't bring food with them. You're gonna make some money. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, let's say the investment starts at $5,000 per unit. It doesn't, but for example purposes, we're going to say that, right? Um, say if you do a glamping tent or something like that, how much money could you get back? Right. So if you paid $5,000 into, let's say the glamping dome cost 10,000 and you paid 5,000 to invest in it. So half the price. And that's just for the tent. That's not the setup. That's not, nothing else. And it's cool. So if two people did that, All right. So the return on interest would be for how many years? Maybe you say you sign on for a 10-year to get your triple your money back. That's fine. And you can keep regenerating money into it. We're going to go into how to do that and the math behind it. Right. So I just want you all to be able to understand that. So when I say an investment, it's not, oh, I'm gonna pay 5,000. What am I getting? Quarterly, you're get money back. Right. So it depends on if you're doing, you know what I'm saying, the agriculture, or if you're gonna be leasing or investing into a actual building, the structure of a cabin or a glamping dome. That will determine the rate of interest that you will receive back. All right. So as I put here, if the profit shares 30 to 50% of the booking income, the estimated return on interest is 2,500 to 4,500 a year per investor. These sell out quickly. It's a no-brainer. So would you be getting money back? Yeah. Think about that. If you put $5,000 into a unit, right? Even though say per unit, but if you put $5,000 into one unit, even if you got 10 to 20% back each year for 10 years, you've already quadrupled what you put into it. Up to you, right? Because you have maintenance and other things. I'm just saying, think of it that way as an investment, right? So let's say we have who is this? Just an investment details here. You could just say investment for a glamping tent, right? So say it starts at $5,000, what I just told you. The estimated return on interest, the ROI is 2,500 to 4,000. Let's say you did a cabin or a tiny home, right? And those started at 10,000. You would get back between 3,500 to 5,000 annually for ROI. So if you're getting that back for 5 years, you've made more than that back. That's why it's an investment. So it's more lucrative, right? You'll receive quarterly payouts via your bank or either the app, wherever you have it that you would like for it to go direct deposit. All right. So here's some real life examples that we can go over here. Things that you can do on the weekend. So weekend income potential. All right. Let's say your cabin rents for 2 to 3 nights per week. All right. 2 to 3 nights per week at $200 a night. That's $2,000 a month. All right. So after a 25% maintenance fee, you keep about 15 to 1,800 per month. You're going to get the money back that you invested in it very quickly, right? Let me say that again. So let's say you you invest in a cabin and your cabin rents for 2 to 3 nights a week at $200 a night. That's $2,000 a month at a minimum. So even after the maintenance fee, you still keep about 15 to 1,800 per month. That's almost $2,000 a month. Like that's you'll make your money back within a year and then some. I'm just trying to put this in your head. I'm not telling you to do it. All right. Anyway, you'd recover the full 10,000 investment in 6 to 8 months. That's exactly what I'm saying. And start earning clean profit after that. Why do I say that? Because even if somebody say they took out a loan and they could pay it back that quick, then after that they go eat after that. Crazy, crazy work. I'm not telling nobody to go take a loan. I'm telling you to think, right? I just need you to think. So this supports full-time stewards and seasonal hosts, right? So you don't have to be there. You're not cleaning up. That's in the maintenance fees. You're not keeping the upkeep of these cabins. That's in the fees. And you and say you invested $10,000 and you get this money back for 5 or 10 years. Insane. That's crazy, right? Great opportunity. That's all I'm saying. I just wanted to give you that example. All right. Now let's talk about lifestyle and community features. Um, you know, whether you have a herbal garden or a tea shop, or you can come up there and sell tea if you feel like it. You know what I'm saying? Like you could do any of this. The sky's the limit. Everybody has some type of business. If you want to be up there cutting hair on Saturdays or something in a certain area, that's fine. because we will actually outside the shop have some certain stuff. Now I'm not telling you I'm gonna just go put a barber shop over there, but if they want to do pop-ups where they can cut hair and stuff like that in certain areas, perfectly fine with me. But I'm, talking more about food and clothing and things like that where you can get in and out. But come out there and network and do this stuff for your business, right? Uh, all the properties that we have will be open space for yoga, art, and spiritual retreats, even though I put a Bible study retreat, whatever you want to call it. Everything I'm doing is gonna have something to do with the spiritual, right? Because you need some type of sanctuary no matter where you go, right? That's my personal plan and my peace with God to do that. So there's that. Um, all properties are 10 acres plus, so there will be walking trails and butterfly gardens. The one in Georgia, the streets will be named after all um our African American, our Black heroes, right? From here to Africa to anywhere in the world they were at. All right, and that's a beautiful thing to give back to that. We do have access to mobile vending, kiosks, right? So, and I told you there will be investments into water generators too, atmospheric water pressure tanks, because let's face it, wars are coming, and when it comes down to controlling water, they can control the light until solar came. So this is the initiative that helps us with the land, with irrigation, with collecting rainwater in certain states where it's actual legal to do it, because in some states it's illegal. So just different things to save on money, and we're going to talk more next week, Monday, about farm to table dinners and opportunities with things like that, and fire pits, and more of the vertical farming and the other things I was telling you all about. So this is the lifestyle and community features for all of the properties. Y'all just be ready. I'm telling you this stuff so you can get an idea of what you want to do, how, whether you want to be an investor, if you want to be an active part of it, if you want to live somewhere. I'm gonna talk more about that towards the end. Right now, I'm just telling you about the South Carolina model, um, and the beauty that's in that. So gardening, or either, small, the chickens or the goats or something like that, and the glamping, right? The two cabins and the glamping domes. That's what's happening in South Carolina. All right. So for the lifestyle and community features, it's just not farmland, right? It's a destination. This is more of tourism as well, because it'll bring in tourists to this area, right? So they may like the farm, the table dinners, the walking trails, the tea classes and things like that, and mobile juicing and snack vending stations in the store that's there on the property. You're not wandering around getting lost. We're gonna have everything over there but some a gas station. You know what I mean? And that's nearby. So just know they need to be ready. All right. So how's this model gonna work? You're able to lease a plot or invest in a unit, right? So a plot, whether it's a fourth an acre and half an acre or 1 acre, you're able to lease and do that, right? Or you can invest in a cabin, or into the glamping domes. All right. That's the difference between us. We build and maintain, we handle the infrastructure, the bookings, and the management. If you're investing, you're simply getting paid back for it. And you're able to see this in real time, and use the app as well. Nobody's cheating anybody out of money. Legal binding documents and contracts will be signed. Not a problem. Right? So, and you can see guests will be booking via Airbnb, VRBO, all these other sites. It's gonna be listed on all of them. Okay. And we do have a direct website. I'll give that to the people once they start investing, so then they can see it. Okay. Um, you will receive monthly or quarterly payouts. You get to determine it. All right. And whoever invests in the cabins and the glamping, you're welcome to stay on your plot for free 3 to 5 nights a year as a perk. So each year, if you know you want to be over here, um, Juneteenth, you might want to lock that date up in the beginning so people will know, and you can have your time there, and you don't have to pay for it. You've already invested in it. All right. And that's for a plot or in the cabin or glamping, But with the plot, and this, I think it's an acre. So yeah, you'll be able to do that. And even if you just have a fourth of an acre or a half an acre, you still get discounts. So don't let that discourage you, okay? This are just some of the things I want you all to think about. So remember, South Carolina, great location. Will be a storefront there, not your local grocery store, just a storefront selling fresh produce. If you need waters, if you need coolers, if you need to rent a grill, things like that. That's what's going to be in there. All right. And then when it comes down to um, which one of the cabins you want to book, or you want to use some of these glamping domes and things like that, or if you want to do the RVs and do the campsite, right? Where you would have your own RV. And this and it, you now that I think about it, I could put one or two of them out there, but no, they need to bring their own stuff because I need them to take it out with them and leave, right? To make sure we can clean everything up. Or if they have EV cars and they need to charge up, the charging stations will be there. That's what's happening in South Carolina. All right, everybody with me? Um, and I think that's a lot of great incentives as well, right? You can stay on your plot 3 to 5 nights a year as a perk. You receive monthly or quarterly payouts, however you want to receive them. You're able to see what's going on. Nobody scan you, nothing like it. That's what it is. All right. Now, let's keep going. Now, I did want to say what's coming next. We'll talk about that in a minute, but optional add-ons, all these can be added to your lease or investment total and build over 3 to 6 months. So, like I said, some people who are doing their own leasing, they want to be able to get a fence or a gate. They want their stuff to themselves. I'm not mad at you. You can do it. Right? And these are examples of how much it would cost because this is not the actual prices, right? I thought about the compost toilet. We're not doing that. It's going to be actual toilets and jokers are flushing. Um, we're not doing compost toilets because, hey, listen, folk are nasty. COVID and all kind of stuff be going around. We don't have time to play these games. I don't want to give nobody the chance to even be no type of dirty. All right. But rainwater catchment systems, if you want to use that, you can. Basic solar panel kits, that's going to be there. If you want to, us to get the chickens and you raise them and do all this other stuff and these starter kits, it can be done, right, for a fee. I'm just putting these here so you can see some of the examples, okay? So all that's all that's nice. Um, let's keep pushing. And they can be billed over 3 to 6 months. So whatever the total price is, you can break it up over 3 to 6 months and just divide it by half of that, right? This is just the example. John baby eats a boy. The phone was ringing, so since suspected spam calls want to call me, that's what they get. Sorry about that. Now let's keep moving. They'll think about calling over here again. Now, um, we're gonna talk more about building. Look at this. Let's keep going. It made me lose my place in my notes. Hold on. Building a farm tourism destination, right? That's exactly what we're doing. Beautiful thing, right? So we're preserving land, creating jobs, whether it's for yourself or passive incomes, side hustles, whatever you want to call it, right? Promoting natural wellness, get outside, see nature, have a good time. South Carolina is like that. Um, you don't have to worry about no gunshots, nobody bothering you over here. Okay, that's all we're saying. So this is giving people from cities a reason to reconnect with the earth, more the spiritual side, quiet side, whatever it is that you need. All right. So spiritual, financial, and agricultural inheritance. You all need to claim it. That's all I'm saying, right? So we're reconnecting with the land. Go hug a tree, go ground, go do all this great stuff, right? Eco hospitality. That's what this is. All right. This model can and will be duplicated. We're just giving you the ideal time to do it, right? So this isn't a one-time deal. It's a living system and a couple of systems that we're creating. All right. Why do investors win in this system? One, lower risk. You're doing nothing but investing. The maintenance, all the risk and everything that's taken away from you. You're here to get a profit, right? Are we worried about finding people? No, because just like us and you, everybody's going to sit here and start marketing. You know, some people in this area, when people see it and they see the prices and nobody's beating their head in, they're going to come. Most people want to come places that are nice, that are closer. They don't have to go all the way down to Florida now and all these different areas um, to do these things. So guess what? South Carolina it is. All right. You want somewhere quiet, beautiful, brand new, this is where they're going to come to. It's going to be a nice evolution. Somebody might want to get married there. You just never know. But passive income from a real asset, this now becomes one of your assets, right? So it's lower risk, steady income, great tax benefits, right? And it's mission aligned with the kingdom. So I'll say that, right? So the impact for families, um, and tangible projects that you can work on, be a part of, use for your portfolio, whatever it is, you can do it, right? So no way will you lose. And I do want to say, let's talk about the business and tax advantages. I think this was asked last time, so I want to make sure I went over this, all right? And we're going to go more in depth into it next week as well, but today let's go ahead and speak on it. So for the investor, right? A K1 passive income, this lowers your tax rate. All right. So if you're getting profits from vending machines or food trucks or cabins or the glamping, the RV portion, the cleaning toilets, like all of this, think about the jobs that can be made from this. So say you wanted to invest, but say you have a business that goes around and who make it up, dump porta potties or something. You could do it. Maybe you have a cleaning business. All this stuff that you can do. I'm just saying, think about it. Maybe you have a delivery business where you got a van or something like that. These people might need this stuff take somewhere. Like you just never know what can come from these great opportunities is all I'm saying. I'm not telling you you have to do anything because you don't. I'm just telling you to think because there's more than one way to make money. All right. Um, depreciation on the structure. That's different in South Carolina and Georgia. We'll go over that more in depth next time, but opportunity zones, right? Investors may defer capital gains tax if they fund these projects because you may find somebody that want to fund the whole thing. No problem. They can write that off, right? This is it's for the people who got some good money, they understand this, right? Green energy and tax credits, right? If somebody wants to, come in and invest with solar, 30%. And hurry up for Trump get mad. Um, so and then the agri-tourism support, right? Some counties offer matching grants for tourism development. That's what this is. Okay? Don't say I didn't tell you. So there's different ways for taxes, right? So you don't have to worry about any of this. We handle the contracts, the tax filing, and the cleaning, and the clean reporting. You'll see the reports, you get whatever you need. Your receipts, whatever you've paid, everything clean and clear. Not a problem. We work with businesses, nonprofits, it doesn't matter who it is. Not a problem. You all know that I always tell you your receipts and your contracts. If it's not in black and white, it didn't happen and you don't have any proof. Everything we do is audit proof. It won't be a problem for you to get it, right? So everything is legal, everything is transparent, and everything is tracked. Inventory record is crazy. You don't have to worry about it. That's my proof. As I stand before God or in any legal capacity, um, that's my proof. So records, it won't be a problem for that. So anybody who's looking to invest, reports, everything. We run all of that, and then we would gladly give it to you. Not an issue. All right. Now, what's included? Sign lease for those who want to lease, or investor agreements for the investors, right? You do all that before we even get started. All right. Booking and sales reports, you'll know who booked what and the type of sales reports. We don't have time to lie around here. I'm not trying to go to court and play with people. Got 7 lawyers, and I got 7 lawyers for a reason, right? Especially the tax lawyer. No games will be played. If it's not legal or legit, I won't even entertain it. This is why the access to me is different now. It's a fee. You got to pay to play. That's how this goes. All right. There will be in the app and on the website an online dashboard that only the investors and owners will have, right? That you can see everything. What dates are booked, you can look in there and go see this. So therefore, if you want to, go book your 3 or 5 days, you'll be able to do so. That's why it's important that you do all this stuff early. Get in while you can. If not, that's okay. You can do it later. It might be in another location. All right. Quarterly statements. Not playing any game about any statements or reports. The banks require them. My records need them. My CPAs and the lawyers need them. So we don't play any games with that. All right. Um, and then we will have other invitations to on-site investor days and to other properties. And those that already invest, they can go look early into other ones, other projects, right? It's only fair. We appreciate that, right? So what's included? The lease, the profit agreements, dashboards, quarterly payouts, training, community access, leverage, all these great things. All right. A lot of people asked this question last time, can I live on the land? For South Carolina, no. It's for the cabin and for glamping. It's not for you to stay in there forever. It's, you know what I'm saying? Probably a week at the most. Whatever, however long they book it, but it's not their permanent residence, right? So the glamping domes and the tents and things like that and the 2 cabins, that's what that's for. You can come rent an RV and pull your RV in and plug it up. You're gonna have showers on the premises and toilets that work. We're not playing any games. All right. Um, Another question. What if I don't farm right away? You have a 60-day grace period to start your farming. But if you're not gonna use it, I don't think you need to be out there. So that's why it's 60 days, okay? So that's not to rush you, that's 2 months. You want to produce or you don't, right? So we got to make sure that we keep in the grounds and things like that up, the upkeep. So you have a 60-day grace period. There's that. And then remember, somebody else always asked the other day, how do I get paid? Quarterly, right? Unless you want it annually, whatever we put in the contract that you agree with, that's how you're going to get paid, all right? But definitely quarterly via your bank or whatever app that you're using, all right? So what do we talk about now? One, the call to action. Are you ready to grow? I can't answer that question. Only you can. Okay. So this is to give you the ideas of what's going on in South Carolina. So if you want to do it, if you want to lease a plot, you're able to lease a plot. If you want to invest in a unit, a glamping dome unit, or if you want to invest in a cabin, you can invest in a cabin, right? If you want to become a partner, you can become a partner. We have a nonprofit as well as a LLC. Right? So now we're getting ready to the point that we're getting ready to open it up to have a wait list where South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, and Alabama. A couple more states coming, but I will not release none of that right now. We'll deal with that as it comes. Right now, we're building up the South, and that's what's happening. All right. So these are the states that they're going to be in. Remember, the one we spoke about today is South Carolina. Yes. So that one, the 2 cabins, the 4 glamping domes, the RV lots, 2 EV chargers. There will be one small store there. The vending machine or food truck options for people who have food trucks or want to actually invest in the vending machines. Meaning, if you have a business that you want to take fresh foods and put them in there each day, whether it's salads, wraps, I don't know, fresh foods and put it in there each day, or drinks and get it out, you're able to do that as well. All right. And we provide the machines. You can invest in them, whatever you want to do. Or if you have a business and you just want to restock them for a nominal fee. All right. That's there. That's what's happening in South Carolina. That's what I wanted you to know today about South Carolina. Now, with that being said, that's it for South Carolina today. Next week, we're going to start talking about Georgia. A lot of people were inquiring about that. I'll tell you about that in a second. So today, I just want you all to know that this is your chance to get in early on something that's growing literally and financially. All right. This isn't a fantasy. Nobody sit here and make this up. The land is already acquired. It's there. All right. This is a working model with receipts, results, and room for more people to succeed. So whatever you want to do. All right. Next week, we will be talking about how taxes work for um, land investors, and then how taxes work for just investors in certain models so that you have a better understanding, right? I'm going to break down the actual math on that and give examples of that. Um, and then we're also going to start talking about client use breakdown of retreats, education, and vendors. We're going to need educators as well, right? We definitely will be talking about the intro to vertical farming, right? Aquaponics and closed loop agriculture. Like it's a lot that's coming, so you will have a lot to choose from. This may help you determine which model will fit your business or you personally better. If you don't have a business, you're doing it as yourself. That's fine too. So I want you all to think about that. Now that we said that, let's go ahead and talk about Georgia. What's happening in Georgia? Well, we're going to talk about Georgia next week. That's the one that the property has been acquired. You all, that's where if you want to do tiny homes, this is where you can live it, right? So tiny homes, they have to be actually cemented like in the land, right? They're not going to be up on no tires and wheels and propped up. No, it's going to be down. All right. In the ground. And or if you want to do barn dominiums, we're going to have two major barn dominiums. That one's going to have a cafeteria. Um, so some people, if they want to go buy acre and build their own house out there, this is the time. That's what we're getting ready to talk about. Two locations in Georgia next week. Um, that's what Georgia's for. That's the actual living and the farming, and that's everything in one. It's gonna be a nice ecosystem, right? I'm not gonna sit here and give you all the intellectual property. However, that's what's coming next week. That I want you all to know about. So you already have your call to action. All I ask of you today is to decide if you want to invest, how you want to invest, or if you want to farm, if you want to lease, do what works for you. If it doesn't work for you, then this is not for you. Right? I'm not here begging. I'm not taking up donations. No, none of that. So however you want to do it. But Georgia, that's going to be the first location where great compounds are going to be built. Barn dominiums are going to be there. Oh, it's going to be beautiful. You'll see next week. You'll see a few pictures. You'll see a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But I do believe that you will like it. I'm very excited about it. For those of all of you who need a change, America is high. America is very high. Cost of living is unsustainable. The food is unsustainable. We're going to talk more about the classes and things that are coming up to learn how to can food, how to jar food, how to, make your food last. We have a lot coming. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I've been telling you all since January what to get ready on the business side and on the personal side. So I hope you're ready. We have some great things coming. We're actually going to start talking about Africa, right? The Gambia, um, Ghana, and Egypt to be exact. All right. We have same things going on over there. If you want to do, and I'm not telling anybody that you have to move, but if you want to go visit, you're going to go spend time over there. I don't know anywhere else in the world you can go rent a house for $300 and stay for 2 months. But listen, you'll stay tuned for that. We got other things coming up. I don't know where else you can build a house. For their size and magnitude. You know what I'm saying? Like for $100,000. So right now, I'm gonna go look at YouTube to see if I have any questions. If you're here with me on Zoom, go ahead and put your questions if you have any topics that I need to go over, any questions that you have, whatever it could be. But Georgia's coming up next week. I know I said a lot today, and I probably was speaking a little too fast, but you're going to be able to go back and rewatch this and let me know. And also, as for business owners, as I didn't say, that's not a problem for you to be able to do your businesses there, right? Because we're going to have a whole front with restaurants. You could be doing nails, hair, any of that. It wouldn't matter. If you group homes, everything, you're going to be able to do it on this land in Georgia. So get ready. That's all I can tell you. Okay, get ready, and I hope you're ready. Let me check to see what kind of questions we have. Any questions I need to answer, any topics you need delivered, like what's happening. And we're gonna go there. Thanks. I will be up there doing bit. Yes. Bring your business. And we're gonna be in some great locations outside of Atlanta. right. I never wanted to go to Atlanta, but outside of Atlanta, it's a beautiful feat. We have some other things on the other side of Georgia, closer toward the Carolinas, and it's beautiful too. So you all just be ready. You're taking the South by storm. So so many people told me they were ready. They had this. Okay, well, let's see. Okay, act like I'm from Missouri to show me state, show me, because I need to know, right? Everybody, I think we good on Zoom. I think we good on YouTube. I would like to thank everybody for their time. I do have more information coming, but I will not be releasing that until the nonprofit is ready to release that information. Just know we're going up. Okay. So thank you for your time. I'll give everybody their day back. To God be the glory. God is light. God is love. Big salute to y'all. Thank you.